Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Okay, all right. Uh, I'm just not there wondering which order should I actually do this in. Okay, let's talk about this scene with Bill, Luna, and Poppy. Now, first of all, before we get to that scene, Liam was asking some really good questions to Bill, as far as why is she just not there telling you this now, right? And Bill's reasoning was, well, Poppy's in love with me now. She's in love with me, and that's why she didn't sit there and say anything. And Liam is just like, aren't you like upset? This is something that any normal man would be, especially. I mean, granted, unless there's a really serious good reason. I mean, it better be a damn good reason. But this has got to be the most crack-headed reasoning. And the fact that he's so blase blah about it. Like, I would have been livid. Especially she would have been like, oh, well, I didn't sit there and tell you because, I'm in love with you. You didn't tell me that I had a child for 19, 20 something years because you're. And then, of course, he was like, well, also, it's just been her and her daughter, that's just been their life. And you just accepted that? That made sense to you. And then they have this so-called super emotional scene where I'm just like, and I mean like Poppy and Luna and Bill, and talking about if it's a possibility that I could be your father and everything like that. You could be my daughter. The thing that's so stupid is that you don't even know if that's the case, right? Like in your head, you're already sitting there and picturing a future with your daughter, or picturing a future with your father moving forward, and you don't even know if it's actually true or not. This is the part that's just so stupid. They're hugging and everything like that, and it's supposed to be this real big emotional scene, but this can all go sideways very fast. And if you're not, they're not related, then you're just going to be looking stupid. RJ, what the hell is wrong with you? After Katie and Brooke and Hope have this strategy session about trying to get Brooke back, into the company, so this way they can have a fighting chance as far as saving her failing line, she goes into the office to try to find Steffi, talks to RJ. RJ is all out of sorts, and for some odd reason, he decides to tell her, "Oh well, the news is out. The news is not out yet. That Luna could be Bill's daughter." She's like, "What?" And after she hears the story, she's like, "Oh, so she just waited now? She's probably a gold digger at this point, right? I mean, why would she just wait now for?" And RJ gives that same stupid excuse that idiotic Poppy gave. See, now her vendetta is going to be like, oh, I just want to sit there and protect Bill. I don't want some con artists coming into his life. When in reality, you're jealous. You have no reason to. Well, your jealousy doesn't matter, and you are dating Carter. Okay, you had your chance to sit there and be back with Bill. You chose a whole year and something and kept him to saying no, and now your dumbass actually wants to be with him when he moved on. Yeah, you didn't want him before until somebody else wanted him. That's nice. That's good. That is just idiotic, and you deserve no sympathy. Now, Ridge is, he comes in, he's like, what are you talking about cutting a line? He's like, is this personal? Is this personal? And Stephanie's like, no. And she gets Carter to back her up. No, the numbers aren't good. So Brooke and Hope come in and they want to sit there and be like, you can't do this. And Hope is like, I'm not going to let you. You're making this personal. And, you're the one that got rid of my lead designer by telling him to go away. And also, Stephanie was like, no, that's not true. But let's just sit there and say it is. Let's just sit there and say for the sake of argument it is. This is what I said last night. If your whole line was counting on that one person, then it may not be that good in the first place. When they're at the house, Hope was like, she doesn't care what the line stands for about empowerment and women's rights and this, that, and the third. What the hell does that actually have to do with money? And this is what Stephanie was saying before, which was just reiterating what I was saying. Listen, if the money was there, I wouldn't be Smith even saying anything. But the money's not there. We're in a transitional period. Okay, well, you know what? We're not in the business of losing money. And when everyone's there, Steffi was like, and of course, Brooke is like, oh, it's a personal vendetta, blah, 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 blah. Steffi was like, we need to cut this line. And we need to do it today. Like, today. Let's not even bother to wait. It almost looks like Ridge is stepping down. He was like, I just want to go back to design. It was like, so you don't want to be in charge of the business? Is that what your snit is saying? The point is, he was like, no. And she's like, I want this line, I want it done. Like now. So I saw the previews of annoying, bossy, and a couple other words that I'm not going to use. Lee coming in and talking about, I'm going to stop this right now. Like, first of all, how are you just walking up in this man's house? What are we doing now at this point? Bill, shouldn't you be locking your door at this point? You're rich. Anybody could just walk on in. You got Katie that just invites herself in. I'm like, damn, don't you have like a butler or a servant or something like that? Apparently, you're supposed to have all these securities or whatever, but like, I don't think the security would just allow her just to walk on in. But I don't get it. I just don't get it. Hope is. She's trying to make the. I mean, the thing is, she's like, oh, she's trying to take everything from me, and this is a Logan war, blah 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 blah. I was like, bro, bottom line is, your line ain't working. Your line is not working. And if it was anybody else, they would have probably did the same thing. If it wasn't Stephanie and it was somebody else, they would have looked at those numbers and be like, yo, this ain't good. You gotta sit there and cancel this line. What do you want to sit there and say to the next person? We can all sit there and say it's personal. And let's just sit there and say for the sake of argument, because it kind of is. Let's be honest. Wouldn't matter if it was personal, if it was making a company money. But it's not making a company money. So regardless if people think this thing is personal or not, it's still not making any money. This is a lot different than the whole Lily situation with Daniel. Because Lily fired Daniel and Heather without cause. I don't care what kind of stupid BS line that she made up. She did it without cause. With Steffi, there's actually cause there. So, yeah. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. But we'll talk about this some more tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows: General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. And I got opinions about all of them. So, yeah, come through and we'll talk about it. I'll see you in the next video.